Hello, everybody. I am super, super excited on this Wednesday. What are we, June 10th? 17th. Where are we? I don't even know where we are. 10th. 10th. Yes, ahead of myself. And that's Corona time, which you and I have talked about. One of the things that we're going to do in this group is bring in some of my favorite people, some of my favorite doctors, guides, experts. You can call them a lot of things, but they're humans who navigate life very, very well. And this is my friend, Dr. Lauren. She's from New Zealand. She is a chiropractor. She practices in Denver, Colorado. She travels the world. She has started a movement in chiropractic for women to help them hone their skills and get tapped and tuned into their hearts and souls. And so I'm going to toss it to her so she can do a quick intro. Dr. Lauren, who are you? Can you tell my little group here a little bit more about you and what you're about?
Thank you. You did a phenomenal job, I think, encompassing all the pieces. But yes, I'm a chiropractor. I grew up in New Zealand. I finished my chiropractic studies in New Zealand about a decade ago and took off around the world and bought a one-way ticket to Asia and spent many years practicing and living and exploring Asia, Europe, and now the United States. And so that certainly breathes into the way I practice, the way I teach, the way I want to give to the world, with just the gift of multiple perspectives of being able to see and stand in so many people's shoes. And then now I have roots in Denver, Colorado. My practice is here. My life is here. And yeah, life is good.
Life is good, and life is interesting. Fascinating, really, right? And so that's the point. The catalyst for this group for me was the awareness that we were being brought to this moment in time where life wasn't going to look the same before and after, because we're clearly meant to learn some things here. Comes with some challenge. It's come with some pain. It's come with discomfort and chaos and confusion and all of this swirling thing. And so one of the reasons why I want to create opportunities for more connection in this group, because connection leads to understanding. And so when I bring someone in who, not only do I see you handling this moment in time in 2020 very well, but you're thriving in it. You're thriving in it. I've known you for a few years now, and you're hitting your groove. And it's like, it's fascinating, right? Because here is this time when you'd have every reason, all of us have every reason to be on a decline, and you're going up, girl. So I got a few questions for you. I want to know, inquiring minds must know, what are you doing to keep yourself physically, vibrantly alive and well during this time?
What I am doing and being most mindful about is my mindfulness practice. And through the years of so much travel and so much turbulence, I think like now it feels like this is the time I was born for. Like this is the time that I can be of greatest service to people, because it's almost like I've been out the back of the surf break for the last like 10 years, getting my butt kicked in those big waves, but now I kind of got it. I feel like, and that's almost like not an invitation for more, but it does feel like I've got the hang of the turbulence and the uncertainty and being able to skate on ground that's somewhat shifting. And so my mindfulness practice, however, is I would coin it like my need for energetic solitude. I have learned over the years of my need for energetic solitude, which is outside of my front door. The world is happening. The surf is breaking. Like we are seeing a mass reorganization in the way that we organize as a structure of society. But it's so important to have that touchstone. So I think that is something that is absolutely front and center of my focus in my day, is that I don't let myself be in the whirlpool for too long without coming back to something that my kitchen looked like this in 2019. It looked like this in 2018. Like what are the points of reference that I can be like, I'm certain it is hot outside in Denver. I am certain that the sky will be blue. I am certain that there will be flowers in my front yard. So those are the types of things that I'm coming back to. Is like, what am I just certain of? Because there's a heck of a lot right now that we're not
uncertain. Right. And I want to get like take in and go a little bit deeper and more tactical. Mindfulness practice in a box. What's that look like on a morning for you?
That looks like a sitting. Yeah, that looks like a sitting practice, a meditation practice. And so I have a cushion that I sit on at the same time. I have a dear friend who's since stay at home. We both committed to joining just like this on Zoom at that exact time every morning, and we sit. And what that looks like is we set a timer, we close our eyes, and we just be with whatever is present. And the one teaching, the one guidepost is just be still. And that's been my teachings for many years. And so we just be still. And that's how we set off on our day. And we get blustered around, but like that time comes back around the next day and we just be still. And it's like that reset point.
And so what does that mindfulness practice do for your physical health?
Everything. It's what I have noticed over the many years that I have been practicing a sitting practice is that my life is exponentially better, exponentially financially better, socially better, physically better, emotionally better when I have a sitting practice. And so I sleep better. I am more present at work. My energy levels are more stable through the day. I choose to exercise and eat well. It's just like it sets the tone for a much more fluid, flowing day.
And it's a lob ball, right? Because it's for you who spent years creating this rhythm, it's second nature. But there was a point in time when you didn't have that. Right? So you this moment of stillness, you having the discipline to carve out, because you have to create that time. Nobody hands you, hey, here's 30 minutes, go be still, right? Like no fairy bopped you on the head and gave you an extra 30 minutes, right? And yet you're relentlessly committed to it. What was pre all that, Lauren? What's the difference?
The pain of not changing became greater than the pain of changing. And it's like, I can no longer live in this chaos, I was just it was reacting. It was like one thing after another. And then I just noticed, when I have a sitting practice, I'm no longer reacting. Things feel more, obstacle. I tend to go around obstacles rather than in, if you're a river rafter or a kayaker, it's like, it's not that comfortable to just hit rocks, the whole way down. So if you're in the flow of life, that's one practice for me that puts me in the flow of life. And for others, it might be running, for others, it might be reading, singing, it's like pick your bitter medicine, as a teacher of mine would say. It's like,
so I had just done like a little Facebook Live about pain, and you and I have talked about this, and it feels like, because my questions for you were going to be, what are you doing physically? What are you doing emotionally? And guys, I want you to hear her, that it's not like I'm eating more fruits and vegetables. Of course, like that's a part of the practice, but it's inside what she's doing. It's inside that creates her outside. And I think that's probably one of the many gratitudes I have about our friendship, because you embody what it means to A, do it, but B, hold your body, mind, and soul in that kind of reverence to gift it every single day, right? You have to value you have to want that. But my live was, pain in our culture has very much been a nuisance, inconvenient. I need to shut it down. I need to get away from it. And this kind of practice is going into listening, and kind of reverse engineers health. And so what do you wish, I guess, that the world knew? What's one thing in this kind of realm of conversation? What's one thing that you think could make a difference for the way we're navigating this time?
A couple things come to mind. And the first is the piece of information that then becomes your own experience of the pain of avoiding pain is much greater than the pain itself. And I think in society we're so well versed in avoiding our own pain and discomfort. And there is no question about when I leave my front door that it is uncomfortable to be out in the world if I am emotionally connected to myself. If I am embodied, if I am present, there's no question that it is an uncomfortable time to be alive. And it's incredibly important because presence metabolizes pain. And so if I'm out there knowing that it's uncomfortable, knowing that that is in turn translated into my system as pain, I'm uncomfortable, I'm in pain, I want to get out of pain. If I can just take that one moment to breathe with it and stay embodied, and it's like, it is painful to really truly breathe in what is happening right now. However, it's actually very comforting to be embodied. That's a very satiating, fulfilling experience, but it's also a muscle. And so that's another reason why I sit every morning to come full circle, because there's no way I can metabolize all of my experiences in the world right now. And so to come back and be like, what is that tightness in my belly? What is that tightness in my throat? What is that tightness clenching in my heart? And just to like soften into this sensation. Our bodies are brilliant. They will never lie. It's this guy.
Never.
It's
Never.
this guy.
Yeah.
Gets us
This
trouble.
is such a segue from our last week. I interviewed a woman from here in town. She's become certified in the emotion code, and that's what we were talking about last week, right? We're a collection of our past or fear and anxiety of the future, and that's where a lot of pain and symptoms can come from. So this is newer topics to some people, and this is the most empowering types of conversation, right? Because it takes the search from like, what do I got to go get out there? Who do I need to find out there, to the treasure map inside?
Yes.
And I think we agree that that's one of the gifts of this time. And the last thing, because we're both chiropractors and because I got to like highlight chiropractic in specific, how do you think chiropractic as a practicing chiropractor, but also someone who receives regular chiropractic care, what is chiropractic to you during the here and now?
Right here, right now is what I experienced an hour ago when I went for my chiropractic adjustment. It's like I walked in and I was like, how are you? I'm great. I'm this, I'm that, I'm right. And then after my appointment, I was like, wow, I was so disconnected and had no idea. And now what I'm noticing and what I'm feeling in my own system is that I'm connected to my heart. And I can have much more bandwidth to be with what is happening and access compassion, rather than operating from this place of what should I be doing right now? What is the right thing to be doing right now? What is the wrong thing to be doing right now? Because that, based on years of study and as chiropractors, just fascinated with how energy moves in the body. And we know that a high energy system is more vibrant, a low energy system is more susceptible to disease and breakdown. A higher energy state is required to have that compassion and to be with what is happening. In a lower energy state is the part where our brain is trying to say, what should I do? What should I not do? What's right? What's wrong? Who's right? Who's wrong? So chiropractic right now is keeping me in my heart and centered in a way that I can't access on my own. Sometimes it is just really necessary to have that other impulse and that freedom.
And the way I hear it, I guess the light bulb that goes off for me as we chew through it a little bit here is like it is one part going inward and one part having someone as a mirror to see you, to see what you can't see or haven't looked at yet, right? That's chiropractic, is that we can see things sometimes that they either can't see or are afraid to see or don't have the tools to navigate. So we get to show up and help them navigate through the pain that, that they maybe need a little help with. And I think we both have said along the lines, like, we don't fix what's broken, we're guides through the lessons that pain brings. So Always a pleasure. Anything else, if we're tossing a message into the world, you got anything else for the world on your heart today, Miss Lauren?
As within, so without. I think it's such a trap right now to look out into the world and not see ourselves in all of it. We are the perpetrator, we are the oppressed, we are the protector, we are the victim. You know, it's like there is, if there's one thing I've really come back to again and again and again and again, is the courage and almost tenacity to look within ourselves at our own conditioning, most of which has been handed down to us, that we have just received through observation. But now we're in such a turbulent time, such a chaotic time, such an unstable time, that it's just a time when we can see actually more clearly. So this is the time to be doing any self-work, diving into any type of body work, chiropractic, sitting meditation, podcast. There's so many resources available right now that there's never been a more ripe time for personal and societal and global transformation.
Yeah. And you know what I hope lights up in anybody that had a chance to watch this in of sorts is, you want to change the world, you change yourself, right? And that's the whole point, is we can't fix it out there, but we can always be working to steady and heal and nurture and thrive on the inside. So I love you. Thank you for taking a moment in time with me. Always a pleasure to play. And I'm sure we will have Dr. Lauren again. She was at the very first Big Idea. And like I said, I mean, she's just one of my favorite homies, and she brings so much light every single time. So thank you, ma'am. And everybody, we will have more connection to come.